They say history is written by the victors, but sometimes history is spared by the defeated. Imagine the United States Capitol engulfed in flame, the White House a hollowed-out, blackened husk. It's August 1814, and the capital of the young American Republic has been sacked and burned by a superior British force. The entire experiment of democracy seems finished. But the real turning point lies not in the ashes of Washington, but 70 miles north, in the quiet streets of Baltimore. The British were marching confidently toward it, certain that the psychological damage was complete. They believed Baltimore, the vital naval and privateering hub, would fall next. They were wrong. And they were wrong because of one man's bitter, brilliant, almost suicidal decision. A decision almost nobody remembers. His name was Commodore Joshua Barney. Barney wasn't a polished officer. He was a pirate, a privateer, a sea-born rebel forged in chaos. By 1814, his fleet of shallow-draft gunboats, known as the Chesapeake Bay Flotilla, was the only serious American naval force in the region. He was a constant thorn in the side of the mighty British Royal Navy, ambushing supply ships, crippling troop transports, then vanishing into hidden rivers. The British hated him, not as an opponent, but as an insult. When General Robert Ross and Admiral Cockburn pushed toward Washington, Barney and his flotilla were trapped. His boats weren't made for deep water. He led the British on a desperate chase up the Patuxent River, buying President James Madison a few precious hours to escape. The chase ended at Pig Point. Barney knew he had run out of river. This was the psychological breaking point. Fight a hopeless battle and die with his men. Surrender everything he built, or something else. He chose the unthinkable. On August 22, 1814, Joshua Barney ordered the destruction of his own fleet. 17 boats, his life's work, burned or sank by his own command. A complete, deliberate sacrifice. But it wasn't surrender, it was bait. Barney understood the British commanders better than they understood themselves. Ross and Cockburn craved glory, trophies, revenge. And when they arrived to find the flotilla destroyed, their frustration exploded. They didn't march straight to Baltimore, the logical strategic target. Instead, they turned toward Washington, determined to punish the American government for the insult Barney had dealt them. The burning of Washington was not a grand strategy. It was spite. And that act of spite changed everything. While Washington burned, Baltimore prepared. Citizens dug trenches, reinforced earthworks, armed batteries, and transformed the city into a fortress in just 48 hours. The very 48 hours Barney's sacrifice had bought them. Wounded, but released on parole, Barney rushed to Baltimore and immediately took command of land defenses. 2 weeks later, when the British finally arrived, the momentum had reversed. Their psychological victory meant nothing against prepared walls and organized militia. The assault on Baltimore collapsed. General Ross was killed by an American sharpshooter. The naval bombardment of Fort McHenry failed, the same bombardment that inspired the Star-Spangled Banner. The British retreated in humiliation. Here is the truth we rarely face. A calculated sacrifice can be more powerful than a perfect battle plan. Joshua Barney's decision to burn his fleet wasn't cowardice. It was strategy born from hardship, ego reading, and cold psychological insight. He knew he couldn't stop the British head-on, but he could manipulate their pride, delay their advance, and buy the one thing America needed most: time. If Baltimore had fallen, the United States could have been carved apart. The peace negotiations in Ghent would have ended with brutal demands. The American experiment itself might have died in infancy. But a man who lost everything he had built managed to save everything his country was becoming. The nation was secured not by triumph, but by a sacrifice so complete that history mistook it for defeat.